Okay, now we've been talking about documents, Google Documents, the whole time and how to share them and how to edit, but we haven't touched yet creating a Google form. You'll find these extremely powerful, and once you get hooked on them, you'll use them all the time. Let's get started with Google Forms. So to create a Google form, you simply go to the upper left-hand side and click Create and Form. The first thing you want to do in Google Forms is title it. So let's come up to the top, and I'll just call this one Practice Form. In the paragraph below here, you can include any other information, maybe instructions or whatever it is that you think you might need, and that would just appear on the form. Now the first question I usually put is I make them put in their first name. This is just a simple text box, and then I click on this to make this a required question. Now when you make it required, they can't click submit and finish the form until they fill out all the areas. Okay, so at this time I click done, and now I have this first name right here. Now if I want to add another item, I'm going to add another item. So I'll come up here and click add an item, and this will be a text question again, and I'll do this same thing as I did before, and I'll call it last name. I'll leave that a text, and I'll make this required as well. So now I have two questions, and they're both required because they have the asterisk by it. When you're working on your form and editing your form, if you've ever completed a question and you've noticed that there's a mistyped word or misspelled word or something you want to change, you have to go clear to the right of the item that you want to fix, and you click on the pencil. See over here, you see a pencil, and then a duplicate if you want to have a question duplicated, or if you want to just get rid of that question altogether, you can delete it. So let's click on the pencil for edit, and then I can come in and edit. And when I'm done, I click done again. So now I have first name, last name. I've edited once, and now I want to add another item. So back to the top to the green plus, and I click on add item. Let's just have another let's say this one is just a paragraph text. Let's say I want the teachers or the students to have to type a little bit more than just a 1 or 2 word answer. So I'll click on paragraph text. Notice that they provide a larger space for them to type. And then here's where I might type my question. So I'll just type the word question in there, whatever that is. You can use your imagination, and then help text if I need it, and then there's their longer answer area. If I want to make this required, I do that again. And then I click done. So now I have 3 things. I have the first name, a last name, and a question. They're all required. Now let's say we're curious about what this form looks like. So if you go to the bottom, clear to the bottom of the form that you're editing, and there's a link. It says you can view the published form here. So let's look at it. I'm going to click on the link, and there it is. My practice form with the items that are required, first name, last name, and an area for my question. Now don't forget to tell them to click submit. That's how it actually gets to the area back in Google Docs where you can see the results. So don't forget to tell them that. So as you notice, this form is somewhat plain. There isn't anything around it. There isn't really a background. And now if I want to get back to my form to edit it, I don't want you to panic. I'm just going to close this window, and then I'm going to go back to my list of my documents. And right here you'll see in green, and green really represents something like Excel, because remember earlier I said a form is in fact a spreadsheet. So you'll notice this is different than the Word documents or the Google documents, the text, things that we were typing earlier. And now here we have a practice form, and it's green because it's like Excel. Okay, so if I want to, and now if I click on this form, what I see here is a spreadsheet, a timestamp, because when they finish the Google form, it'll put in the time that they did it, their first name, last name, and then the answer to their question. Now, if I want to edit the form, this doesn't help me much. Okay, just remember when you click on your list of Google Docs back in your home here, it's going to take you to something, and it looks like this spreadsheet. But up at the top here, there's a drop-down list called Form. And if I want to edit the form, I just simply go back to the editing of that form. So I'm going to do that. Right under Form, I'm going to click Edit Form. And then here is the window where I can continue to edit that same form and add questions and items that I wish.